In this video, we're going to talk about example 6 from notes, topics 3.6, higher order derivatives, and we are going to find the second derivative implicitly this time. And we know we're working implicitly because both the x and the y are on the same side there, and it'd be difficult to get y by itself. So I'm going to just start taking my derivative. So the derivative of x squared is 2x dx dx. The derivative of y squared would be 2y dy dx. And the derivative of 25 would be 0. I'm going to get this solved for dy dx. So the first thing I'm going to do is reduce my dx to 1. So 2x plus 2y dy dx equals 0. We're going to move this to the other side. So 2y dy dx equals, I'm subtracting that over, so it'd be negative 2x. And then I'm going to divide by the 2y. So negative 2x divided by 2y. This reduces. So I don't know what I wrote there. It should be dy dx, not dx dy. dy dx, so dy dx equals negative x over y. Now I have to take the derivative of that, so I'm going to move that derivative kind of up here. So to get the second derivative, I have to use the quotient rule. So I have dy, or d squared y over dx squared equals. All right, so I've got my red and my green, and remember I'm still doing implicit, okay? So the derivative of my red would be negative 1 dx dx. Keep the green the way it is, so y. Put a minus sign. Then keep the red the way it is, so negative x. And then the derivative of the green is dy dx, or 1 dy dx. And then that all goes over the green squared. Let's clean that up a bit, because here's the other catch with this. Negative, the dx dx is going to be 1, and then negative 1 times y would just be negative y. This double negative is going to go positive. Now, I can't leave it in terms of dy dx. I have to replace it with what dy dx is. So I would replace this with negative x over y all over y squared. It is entirely possible that even though that's a correct answer, that is not what you will see. They will probably not want you to have this denominator here. So to get rid of it, I'm going to multiply the entire thing by y over y. So that means I'm going to distribute this through here. So that would be equal negative y squared. X times negative x would be negative x squared. And then in this piece of it, the y's would cancel. So that's what we wanted to happen. All over y squared times y, which would be y cubed. Again, the one thing they might not like about this is the negative being in there, so they may factor that out and then reverse the order of the variables. They could say x squared plus y squared over y cubed. All three of those are actually correct answers.